Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. 946 News and Views. And we're moving along with Sun Party parliamentary candidate. And that, of course, is you, Rasheed Gutta. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program. And we're going to talk about your manifesto this morning and why we should be voting for the Sun Party.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Julie, greetings to you and all the viewers. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So your manifesto, and I know that the elections are literally 8 days away. Undoubtedly, you guys are working really very hard. But let's hear, what are you promising the people if they vote for the Sun Party?
Thanks. Yes, we've been pushing very hard to try and get as many voters to know our party. We are a new party that has just gone for the elections for the first time. We're contesting national and with all four provinces, namely Gauteng, the Northwest Province, the Western Cape, and the KZN Province. We also appear on all 9 regional ballots for the 9 provinces. So our party is built on the expectation of a return to God-conscious leadership, which is severely lacking in this country. The motto of our party is leaders you can trust to be honest and just. We have a unique economic recovery plan that is tried and tested all over the world, and that is guaranteed to give South Africans economic growth within the next 5 years. So we are requesting people to vote for us and give us a chance, like they have done for the bigger parties. They've given the ruling party 30 years to change the country, but we find ourselves going in a declining direction, and things are getting worse by the day. The current pandemic of poverty, inequality, and unemployment is not getting any better. So we believe that with our plan, we can be able to reverse the situation in this country, and South Africans will have a much better um, lifestyle and a life within the next 5 years. We can guarantee to change that situation.
Inshallah, in a nutshell, can you talk to us about your plan?
South Africa is endowed with many mineral resources. What's happening is that we are exporting all the raw materials in this country. And our objective is that if we are elected into office, within the first 100 days of coming into office, we are expecting to effect a radical structural reform of the economy. And by that I mean is that we will encourage the government to change its policy on beneficiation, encouraging these raw materials to be processed into a finished product, thereby creating the necessary employment by having penalties for exporting the raw and incentivizing people to invest into factories through tax rebates, through wage rebates. We're also saying that because of the inequality of the society, we need to have a much more fair employee equity, where employees are getting rewarded on performance and productivity, and become more incentivize them to become part of that economic pie, which they are lacking. At the moment, there's this inequality that's been created. So we hope through these two processes to be able to get a more balanced economy, where we can transform society to become a more just and equitable society. At present, only a narrow band of politically connected individuals and big business are benefiting at the expense of the masses. When we've been on the campaign trail and going to these marginalized and village areas, we have come to realize that people don't have the basic services. Like the taps are running dry, there's no water in the taps, and all they require is a borehole. So if we can start effecting some of these basic things like boreholes, and even if you look at the solar energy that we are now using because of the limited the load shedding in the country, we need to start looking at these marginalized areas to be able to give them that opportunity as well, to get solar power into their homes.
Inshallah, and get small businesses up and running again, because many of those were shut down because of the energy crisis in the country. How is who is funding your party?
At present, because we are a new party, we have had limited funding. I'm one of the people that are funding it at the moment. Uh, uh, I'm funding the party because I believe that we need a change. Society, there's many parties in this country at the moment that have put up their hands to contest these elections. So for the voters, I'm saying to you that you have plenty of choice this time around. There's 52 parties and 11 independent candidates. Um, we believe that it's time for change because the ruling party has been given 30 years to make the necessary changes, but they haven't been able to do it. They lack the leadership and the renewed leadership within their party to be able to effect the necessary change. So I took it upon myself from my experience in business to be able to say, let me put the country ahead of my self-interest. And it's time for South Africans to come out there and defend this democracy, because if you look at the last two elections, more people stayed at home than came out to vote. So we've got to restore the hope of society and the democracy to say that we don't only have to depend on the ANC that has given us the liberation. We respect them for that, but they don't have the necessary leadership to take us out of this quagmire any longer.
I commend you for funding the party. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your efforts. Much duas that you guys, do bring in all the votes, the much needed votes. We need people with integrity and ethics like yourself to rule the country and take the country forward. So here's wishing you all the very best in the upcoming elections, inshallah. I'm glad to hear that you're very honest about the funding, that it comes out of your own pockets because you want to make a personal and meaningful change in our country. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of that. Thank you for being with us on the show this morning. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Jazakallah. Thanks for having me and hope to speak to you soon.
I hope so too, inshallah. It is exactly 9:53. News and views moving along. Our final interview of the morning is with energy expert and CEO at Sinan Energy, and that, of course, is Mohammed Mahdi. I do hope that he's going to be joining us in a minute or two, and we're going to be looking at the issue around Eskom surpassing the 70% energy availability milestone.